Navigating the aftershocks, understanding and managing post-earthquake dizziness. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a topic that many of you might have experienced, but perhaps never fully understood. That unsettling, disorienting feeling of dizziness, vertigo, or even swaying after an earthquake has ended. It's a surprisingly common reaction, one that can leave you feeling vulnerable and confused, even when the immediate danger has passed. If you've ever felt the ground moving beneath you, only for your head to keep spinning or your body to feel like it's still rocking minutes, or even hours, later, you are not alone. This isn't just nerves. It's a complex physiological and psychological response that our bodies and brains go through. And today, we're going to break it all down. In this comprehensive guide, we'll explore why this post-earthquake dizziness occurs, drawing on scientific research and expert insights. More importantly, we'll equip you with practical, actionable strategies to manage these sensations, know when to seek professional help, and ultimately, regain your sense of stability and calm. This isn't just about surviving the quake, it's about navigating the aftershocks within your own body. So, let's get started. The science behind the sway. Why does post-earthquake dizziness happen? To understand why we get dizzy, we first need to appreciate just how profoundly an earthquake impacts not just the physical world around us, but also our intricate internal systems. It's a sudden, violent disruption that throws our finely tuned balance mechanisms into complete disarray. The primary culprit behind this post-earthquake disorientation is often our vestibular system. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is that? Think of your vestibular system as your body's internal GPS and balance control center. It's an incredibly sophisticated network located deep within your inner ear, comprising 3 semicircular canals and 2 otolith organs. These tiny, fluid-filled structures, along with hair-like cells, constantly monitor your head movements, your body's position in space, and detect gravity and linear acceleration. These organs work in concert with your eyes, our visual system, and the proprioceptors in your muscles and joints, which tell your brain where your body parts are, to provide your brain with a continuous, real-time map of your orientation. All these signals are integrated in your brainstem and cerebellum, allowing you to walk, run, stand, and even just sit still without falling over. It's an unconscious, continuous process that we rarely think about, until it goes wrong. During an earthquake, this exquisitely sensitive system is suddenly, violently overloaded with conflicting and extreme sensory information. The ground is moving, objects are falling, visual cues are shifting erratically, and your body is being thrown around. Every single sensor in your vestibular system, every nerve ending in your muscles, and every input from your eyes screams, danger. Movement. The brain, in its attempt to keep you safe, kicks into an alert mode, or, more accurately, an overactive state. It tries desperately to make sense of the chaotic input. Here's the key. Even after the physical shaking stops, your brain doesn't just immediately switch back to normal. It retains a memory of that intense, prolonged motion. It's like your internal alarm system got stuck in the on position. A fascinating 2022 study from the University of Tokyo shed significant light on this. Researchers found that during a strong earthquake, our vestibular system indeed becomes suddenly and excessively active. Even after the physical tremors cease, this system continues to send signals to the brain, mimicking the sensation of swaying or rocking. It's almost as if your brain believes the ground is still moving, even though it's perfectly still. This mismatch between what your eyes see, a stable room, and what your inner ear is telling your brain, you're still swaying, creates that profound sense of disorientation and dizziness. It's a sensory conflict that throws your balance system into complete confusion. But the vestibular system isn't working in isolation. Earthquakes are terrifying events, triggering our body's ancient, fight or flight, response. This brings us to the second major player, stress hormones, particularly cortisol. When faced with a perceived threat like an earthquake, your body floods with adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline provides that immediate burst of energy, sharpening your senses, increasing heart rate and blood pressure, preparing you to react. Cortisol, often called the stress hormone, plays a more prolonged role. While essential for managing stress, high levels of cortisol, especially sustained ones, can have a range of physical effects. The Stanford Psychology Lab highlights that a rapid increase in cortisol during moments of danger or panic can directly contribute to symptoms like lightheadedness, dizziness, and even nausea. Think about it. Even if the ground isn't shaking anymore, the profound anxiety and fear from the earthquake can keep your cortisol levels elevated. This elevated state can manifest as that persistent feeling of lightheadedness, difficulty with coordination, a sense of pressure in the head, and that general, unsettled feeling. Your body is still reacting to a perceived threat, even if the actual threat has passed. It's a prime example of how our psychological state directly impacts our physical sensations. When to worry and when to relax, distinguishing normal from concerning. Approximately 1,000 words. Now that we understand the mechanisms, let's address a crucial question. How do you know if your dizziness is a normal, transient reaction, or if it's something that warrants medical attention? This is where many people experience anxiety, and it's vital to have clear guidelines. The good news is that for most people, post-earthquake dizziness is a normal, temporary physiological response. Your body is simply trying to recalibrate after an extreme event. Here are the signs that your dizziness is likely a normal vestibular response. Duration. The dizziness subsides relatively quickly, typically within 10 to 30 minutes. You might still feel a bit off, but the intense spinning or swaying sensation has largely decreased. Response to simple actions. You feel better after taking a few sips of water. Dehydration, even mild, can exacerbate dizziness, and the stress of an earthquake can easily lead to it. Improvement with rest. A period of calm rest, perhaps lying down or sitting quietly with your eyes closed, helps alleviate the symptoms. A short nap can often reset your system. No other severe symptoms. The dizziness isn't accompanied by other alarming signs, which we'll discuss next. It's primarily a feeling of unsteadiness or rocking. This kind of dizziness is your body's way of saying, "Whoa, that was a lot. I need a moment to resync." It's like your internal computer needs a quick reboot after a system crash. While uncomfortable, it's generally not dangerous. Many people describe it as feeling like they're still on a boat, or that the ground is subtly jiggling. It's important to acknowledge these feelings without letting them spiral into excessive panic. However, there are clear warning signs that indicate your dizziness might be more than just a temporary vestibular confusion and could warrant immediate medical attention. Do not hesitate to consult a doctor if you experience any of the following. Prolonged dizziness, more than 24 hours. If the intense dizziness, spinning, or swaying sensation persists for a full day or longer without significant improvement, it's crucial to get it checked out. While some mild lingering sensations might be normal, persistent, debilitating dizziness is not. Repeated or severe vomiting. While some nausea can accompany intense dizziness, repeated, forceful vomiting could indicate a more serious underlying issue, possibly related to head injury during the quake or other neurological concerns. Body numbness or weakness. If you experience numbness, tingling, or weakness in any part of your body, such as an arm, leg, or one side of your face, this is a red flag. This could indicate a neurological event like a stroke or a spinal injury, especially if you fell or were hit by debris. Significant difficulty walking or severe coordination problems. Beyond simple unsteadiness, if you find yourself unable to walk in a straight line, staggering severely, or feeling like your limbs aren't responding properly, this is a serious concern. This could point to a concussion, inner ear damage, or other neurological damage. Severe headache or neck pain. A sudden, very severe headache, especially if accompanied by neck stiffness or pain, particularly if you hit your head, needs urgent medical evaluation. Vision changes. Blurred vision, double vision, or sudden loss of vision in one or both eyes are critical symptoms requiring immediate medical assessment. Slurred speech or confusion. Any changes in your ability to speak clearly or unusual confusion, disorientation beyond the initial shock, or memory problems are serious neurological symptoms. Loss of consciousness. If you lost consciousness during or after the earthquake, even for a brief moment, you should be medically evaluated immediately, as this significantly increases the risk of head injury. Remember, in a post-disaster scenario, healthcare resources might be stretched. But if you experience any of these severe symptoms, prioritize seeking help. Don't try to tough it out. If emergency services are overloaded, try to reach out to a local clinic or a trusted medical professional if possible. Even a virtual consultation can provide initial guidance. It's always better to be safe than sorry, especially when it comes to your brain and neurological health. The key takeaway here is self-awareness. Listen to your body. While a degree of post-earthquake discombobulation is normal, significant or persistent symptoms should never be ignored. Your brain and nervous system are incredibly resilient, but they also need proper care, especially after such a traumatic event. Immediate steps to regain stability, actionable strategies for relief. Okay, so you've just experienced an earthquake, and you're feeling that unsettling dizziness. What do you do right now? The immediate aftermath is crucial for both your physical safety and your psychological well-being. Having a clear plan can make a world of difference. The very first, and arguably most important, step is to sit down and close your eyes. This might sound simple, but its effectiveness is profound. Why is this so critical? Preventing falls. If you are standing and already feeling dizzy, your balance is severely compromised. You are at a high risk of falling, which could lead to further injury, especially if there's debris around. Sitting down immediately removes this risk. Find the nearest sturdy chair, a spot on the floor, or lean against a stable wall. Calming the vestibular system. Remember our discussion about the vestibular system? It relies heavily on visual input to confirm its readings. When your inner ear is sending confused signals, and your eyes are seeing a world that might still feel like it's moving, the conflict intensifies your dizziness. By closing your eyes, you temporarily shut off that conflicting visual information. This allows your vestibular system to reset and reduces the sensory overload, helping it to calm down faster. It's like taking one of the competing voices away, allowing the others to resynchronize. Reducing anxiety. The act of sitting down and closing your eyes is also a powerful psychological signal to your body that the immediate danger has passed, and it's time to slow down. It helps interrupt the fight or flight response, which is crucial for lowering those elevated cortisol levels. Once you're safely seated, the next immediate action is to drink water slowly. Why is hydration so vital in this moment? Combating dehydration, stress, fear, and the physical exertion of an earthquake can lead to rapid dehydration. Even mild dehydration can significantly worsen dizziness, lightheadedness, and nausea. Your body's systems, including your circulatory system and brain function, rely on adequate hydration. Calming the nervous system. The act of slowly sipping water is a mindful, calming action. It helps to regulate your breathing and provides a small, tangible task to focus on, diverting your attention from the overwhelming sensations. Avoid chugging water, as this can sometimes cause stomach upset. Aim for 2 or 3 sips, pause, and then repeat. Replenishing electrolytes, if available. If you have access to electrolyte-rich fluids like sports drinks or coconut water, these can be even more beneficial. The body loses electrolytes during stress, and replenishing them can further aid in restoring balance. Following that, you need to actively engage in deep breathing exercises. This is a direct intervention for your nervous system. How does breathing help? Reducing stress hormones. Remember how high cortisol levels contribute to dizziness? Deep, diaphragmatic breathing is one of the most effective ways to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and digest system. This counteracts the sympathetic, fight or flight, response, thereby helping to lower adrenaline and cortisol levels. Oxygenating the brain. Stress and panic often lead to shallow, rapid breathing, which can reduce oxygen supply to the brain, exacerbating lightheadedness. Deep breathing ensures your brain receives adequate oxygen. Mindfulness and grounding. Focusing on your breath provides an immediate anchor, pulling your attention away from the disorienting sensations and grounding you in the present moment. It's a powerful tool for self-regulation. Here's a simple, yet highly effective technique. The 4-6 breath. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4 seconds. Feel your belly rise. Hold for a count of 1 second if comfortable. Exhale slowly and completely through your mouth for a count of 6 seconds, letting all the air out. Feel your belly fall. Repeat this cycle for several minutes. The longer exhale signals to your brain that it's safe to relax. Once you've started to calm your breathing, the next step is to eat something quickly. Why is nutrition important here? Stabilizing blood glucose. Stress, fear, and physical exertion can cause a dip in your blood glucose levels. Low blood sugar, or hypoglycemia, is a very common cause of dizziness, lightheadedness, weakness, and shakiness. Providing energy. Your body has just been through a traumatic event and used a lot of energy. Replenishing this with a quick source of carbohydrates can help your body recover and reduce dizziness. Long-term coping and mental well-being. While our immediate focus is on managing the physical sensations of dizziness, it's crucial to remember that an earthquake is also a profound psychological event. The aftershocks aren't just in the ground, they can be in our minds and emotions too. Long-term coping strategies are just as important for full recovery. One of the most powerful long-term coping mechanisms is social connection and communication. Why is this vital? Processing trauma. Talking about your experience, your fears, and your physical sensations with trusted friends, family, or community members can be incredibly cathartic. It helps you process the event and normalize your reactions. Hearing that others are feeling similar dizziness or anxiety can be immensely reassuring. Reducing isolation. Trauma can lead to feelings of isolation. Connecting with others reinforces that you're not alone and provides a support network. Practical support. Beyond emotional support, your social network can offer practical help, whether it's checking on your home, offering a temporary place to stay, or simply bringing you a comforting meal. Alongside talking, journaling and reflection can also be very helpful. How does this aid recovery? Emotional release. Writing down your thoughts and feelings about the earthquake and its aftermath, including the dizziness, can be a powerful way to release pent-up emotions and anxieties that you might not feel comfortable sharing verbally. Identifying patterns. Journaling can help you identify patterns in your symptoms, perhaps noting what makes your dizziness better or worse. This self-awareness is empowering. Creating a narrative. Crafting your own narrative of the experience can help you make sense of a chaotic event, moving from feeling like a victim to someone who is actively coping and recovering. Incorporate mindfulness and relaxation techniques into your daily routine. Why are these important? Regulating the nervous system. Techniques like meditation, progressive muscle relaxation, or even simple mindful walks can train your nervous system to return to a calm state more readily. This helps reduce the baseline level of stress and anxiety that can exacerbate dizziness. Grounding. Mindfulness exercises focus on bringing your attention to the present moment through your senses, what you see, hear, feel, and smell. This can be incredibly grounding when you're feeling disoriented or detached. Improving sleep. Anxiety and stress often disrupt sleep. Regular relaxation practices can significantly improve sleep quality, which in turn aids overall physical and mental recovery. As you feel able, gradually reintroduce gentle physical activity. How does this help? Recalibrating balance. Light exercise, like walking, gentle stretching, or very simple yoga poses, can help your body and brain reestablish normal balance mechanisms. It provides proprioceptive input and helps your vestibular system regain its accuracy. Start with short durations and gradually increase. Reducing stress. Physical activity is a natural stress reliever. It helps burn off excess adrenaline and cortisol, and releases endorphins, which have mood-boosting effects. Restoring routine. Getting back into a routine, even a modified one, can provide a sense of normalcy and control after a disruptive event. Finally, and crucially, don't hesitate to seek professional support if needed. When should you consider this? Persistent anxiety, PTSD symptoms. If you find yourself experiencing persistent anxiety, panic attacks, nightmares, flashbacks, hypervigilance, constantly being on alert, or avoiding places, situations related to the earthquake, you might be experiencing symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. A mental health professional, therapist, counselor, can provide effective strategies for coping with trauma. Prolonged physical symptoms. If, despite your best efforts, dizziness, nausea, or other physical symptoms persist or worsen, consulting your doctor again is essential. They might recommend specialized vestibular rehabilitation therapy, VRT, if your inner ear has been affected, or further investigations to rule out other issues. Impact on daily life. If your post-earthquake reactions, whether physical or emotional, are significantly interfering with your ability to work, socialize, sleep, or enjoy life, professional help is not just recommended, it's vital. Support groups. Look for local or online support groups for earthquake survivors. Sharing experiences with others who truly understand can be incredibly validating and healing. Remember, recovering from an earthquake is a journey, not a sprint. It involves both physical and emotional healing. Be patient with yourself, extend compassion to your body and mind, and don't hesitate to lean on your support system or professionals when needed. Your well-being is paramount. Conclusion. So, there you have it. A deep dive into the fascinating, yet often unsettling, phenomenon of post-earthquake dizziness. We've uncovered the science behind it, learned to distinguish between normal reactions and those requiring medical attention, and equipped you with immediate and long-term strategies to regain your balance, both physically and emotionally. The key message I want you to take away today is this: your body's reactions are valid. While an earthquake is a chaotic force, you do have agency in how you respond to its aftermath. By understanding what's happening and applying these practical steps, you can significantly improve your recovery and reduce distress. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps our channel reach more people who need this information. Share it with anyone who might benefit, And if you haven't already, subscribe for more videos on health, well-being, and preparedness. Don't forget to check the description below for links to relevant studies, emergency preparedness resources, and mental health support organizations. Your safety and well-being are paramount. Stay safe, stay informed, and take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you in the next video.